poems for Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one is, I read this out today at a poetry meeting. It's basically something I wrote some time ago, late 20th century. It's called Confessions of an Aesthete of Working Class Origins. For much of my life, I was firmly convinced that principled self-scrutiny would lead me to all the secrets of human nature I needed to know. So where possible, sex was cerebral and the intellect functioned as an impregnable moat or chastity belt. And to further protect my jewel of self, I would shelter behind symbols even as they were being deconstructed, for I lacked the courage of true confession, seeing its innate power to shatter so brutally all my most cherished citadels of denial. By such means, I hoped I would become a hierophant of an entirely new religion, in which I would create or encounter hitherto inexpressible vistas of beauty, wherein I could fashion icons of the ephemeral, the contingency, the fragmentary, and the contingent. To this end, I knowingly made use of misunderstood scraps of science, pseudoscience, and literary theory, in order to dazzle others and myself, so that I might achieve rarefied mental states, especially that of victory in defeat, for I had the secret self-martyring pride of a heretic. As a consequence, I was generally uncertain of my own bearings, and became lost in the arcane subtleties of a private world, ever fearing that I might become a dark, loveless angel, enclosed and desiccating within a crumbling necropolis of the self. And above all, I tried to shun any form of self-revelation, so as to evade the unwanted and slippery empathy of astute critics and their pitiless Gorgon gaze. Deep down, I was imbued with an absolute need to escape from a world in which I felt I had been wrongly tuned. So by degrees, it became my firm impression, my firm intention to ignore the tumult in my soul and take a spiritual leap into existential darkness. To this end, I tried to pursue new and shining pathways by means of pseudo-self-analysis and cultural artifice. And so it was, I entered an abyss largely of my own self-devising. But somehow I survived and managed to keep smiling. Could it be that I am some kind of closet Christian in denial? And so it was. I became a poet of undeterminate ranking. Yeah, soul-searching when I was younger.
And then
I'll read the other one actually quite quickly, because it's this other one is called, this is more typical of me, it's called Finale Time at the Comedy Club. The enchanted domain of Madame Fifi, plump and attractive female comic, who Circe-like pleases porcine males with a girlish dirty talk of erections, failed or otherwise, and dubious tales of men's disgraceful, self-serving ineptitude with regard to la copulation. She mocks their dreams of a dominatrix, equipped with various punitive devices, plus talcum powder, sweet stimulations of riding crops, and restraints of varying severity. With the real bad boys ejected for boorishness and gross indecency, she is safe to wag admonishing finger. "You naughty men are such branleurs," she announces. Branleurs, that's what's it called? Self-abuser. "You naughty men are such branleurs," she announces. "But fortunately for you, we women have been endowed with certain coping strategies." With this, she snatches away a blonde wig and much padded bra to reveal a chest dark and defiantly hirsute. Delirious applause breaks out like a rash.
Oh my God!
That's
Hey Jim, is that true? Did you go to a club like that?
I have been. I've seen it on the TV actually. It's sort of like men performing and a woman, and then suddenly they've pulled off the thing and showed the hirsute chest and stuff like that.
Oh God, yeah.
I thought, yeah, right, okay,
right.
okay.
This takes me back to remember the King's Lola.
The King's
Kinks, the band, the
Oh,
Kinks.
yeah, the Kinks.
Lola,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
quite witty.
Oh, yeah, Lola. I remember that. Yeah, Lola. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks. Do you want to go next, Norman?
Me? Oh, well.
Yes.
Okay.
So long time away.
Long time away. So you'll be gentle with me because this is this is not highly thought-provoking stuff, but it's still. The first one is, I would say, a proper poem. The second one's maybe just a sort of little narrative. But they're both based on my new being here in my new home. And when I look out the back here, our rear lawn, we've got a variety of birds that are appearing in the rear lawn. But the two that are by a mile most frequent are Mr. and Mrs. Blackbird. So obviously I had to write something about Blackbird. So here we go. Blackbird. He hops and eventually stops, then stands like a black statuette. That is Mr. Blackbird on our lawn. His colour, black as coal, topped with a yellow-orange beak. His head tilts side to side, surveying his target, followed by a sudden lunge into the grass. A clinging worm is pulled out, but Blackbird's strength is steadfast and stout. Just then a magpie swoops down. If he could, I'm sure Mr. Blackbird would frown. Instead, he takes off into the hedge, leaving Magpie to dredge, another victim from the rear garden that always gives. Once satisfied and full, Magpie takes off, all flapping and slapping. A short time later, Mr. Blackbird returns from the hedge at the rear. His patience pays off. The coast is now clear, so he hops and he hops and he hops with no fear. Then all of a sudden, from out of the wings, Mrs. Blackbird swoops down. She is dappled and dark brown. She was biding her time in a beech tree nearby. It seems to me that blackbirds have a system. That is, Mr. Blackbird feeds first, then Mrs. Blackbird follows. Perhaps Mr. Blackbird feeds first, whilst Mrs. Blackbird guards their nest and eggs. Then the role reversal takes place. What a team they are, the Blackbird brace. I enjoy his fleeting company, but the real prize is listening to his beautiful bird song. Sometimes very early in the morning, but especially at night, when all other birds are settled and out of sight. Mr. Blackbird sings his loud, melodious songs. Then I know all is well and safe at home. That's that one. Right, so this is one about a little jewel in York. It's a very small, it's a cafe restaurant, and it's small. It's tucked away in an antique centre. But the key behind this one, well, apart from me describing our experience going for lunch, as I said earlier to Jim and Peter, is the line where I have a dig at warmongers and political shenanigans. Anyway, here we go. It's called Cafe in the Antique Centre. It is an unusually warm April morning as we climb the stairs, 2 stories, passing the myriad of furniture, jewellery, clocks, miniatures, curios, gold, silver, glass, ceramics, antiquities and collectibles. The majority secured safely behind locked glass cabinets. If they could speak, the miniature silver bear and golden elephant, I'm sure would plead, please take me home. I've been on show for many years now. It is true there is a huge collection of items of interest, but a light lunch beckons up one more flight of stairs to the cafe. We enter the quaint cafe room, neatly set out with 8 tables. The velvet sounds of Nat King Cole glide across the room from the old record player in the corner. 2 tables are occupied, one with tourists escaping the bustle outside, and the other by regulars who know which side their bread is best buttered. Thankfully, our table is free. I say our table. It is situated at the corner window, where we can observe the map-laden tourists and busy businessmen and women on the York streets below. We are greeted with a sparkling smile from the lady owner. She lifts our spirits. We are treated like family, not simply customers. Tea is served in a full china tea set, as befits this establishment. Service is attentive and friendly. During our short stay, our faith in humanity returns, whilst elsewhere in the world, wars and political wrangling soldier on. We descend the stairs and give a nod to the antiquarian goods, proudly displayed in their cabinets. Perhaps some will be rescued by us on another day. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Norman. John, do you want to go next?
Okay. So this is an example of a triolet, which is an 8-line poem with defined repetition of certain lines and a defined rhyming scheme. And this, I was inspired to write this by, I go to this group in Camden, and this was the challenge for this month. Sleeping in the mire. Fallen soldiers sleeping in the mire. Death to roar of cannon, screaming arc of shell. Eerie drone of biplane, dogged rifle fire. Fallen soldiers sleeping in the mire. The dank earth ploughed open, smouldering pyres. Away from shrieking whistle, captain's barking yell. Fallen soldiers sleeping in the mire. Deaf to roar of cannon, screaming arc of shell. That was actually inspired by Cannon Fodder by Alex Wall. If you don't know it, that's quite a grim poem about the Second World War, about the First World War. So that's one poem.
It's a horror.
Yeah. Have you read Alex Wall's poem?
No.
It's very, very powerful, very, very sad, very moving poem. Right, so the next one is my latest poem, which is very, very loosely based on the song Lost Highway. Lost Highway. The desolate highway wanders ahead. The passing landscape rendered barren and formless, as headlight beams strafe encroaching dusk. Shadows loom in the mirror, my past life receding in the wake. The final milestone rushes by, mist drifting in, swallowing the verge. Signpost now eerie phantoms void of meaning. I journey on towards the shrouded skyline, distant cat's eyes snaking away into darkness. And then finally, What should we go for now? Oh, here we are. Just a very short poem in honour of Robin Pilger, who died last year. It's called Robin. The quiet garden, just the rustle of the wind, where once there was song.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was
So that was a
lovely.
little haiku.
Yeah. It's very effective. Thank you,
Yeah.
John.
I sent it to his daughter, actually. She
Yeah.
quite liked it.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
good. Steve.
Okay, that's me finished then.
Thank you. Steve, do you want to go next?
Sure, Peter. This one is called Experiences in a Mental Institution. I had several admissions to a mental institution from the age of 17 in 1977. It was very awesome and frightening. The hospital was called All Saints in Winson Green, Birmingham. On my first admission, I was diagnosed as manic depressive and given tranquilizers and antidepressants. Eventually, to control mood swings, lithium carbonate was administered along with Chemodrin to stop side effects. I was given a blood test every 6 weeks to test the lithium in the blood. I saw several psychiatrists and had a very good social worker by the name of Mrs. Jacoby, who gave me clothes and helped me to get my flat in Smethwick, West Midlands. I was a very good person. Unfortunately, getting the wrong side of the spoon of what life dealt me. I would go to the OT department and do art, also the woodwork department, where I made a stool and bookshelves, which I had in my flat. Every Tuesday evening, the OT department had a disco. Sometimes I helped out by being a DJ, and on one occasion won a dancing competition. I got on well with the staff, OT staff, nurses and patients. I would visit other wards and cheer people up, especially the geriatric wards, where the elderly ladies took to me and my nice ways and my cheerfulness to them. I was very popular with everyone, but still I wanted to get away from All Saints environment, which eventually I did and came to London in 1985. This one's called Brothers. My brothers, look into yourself and realize that acts of criminality do you no favors. You do not have to be a criminal to gain the honor of the big man. Show humility amongst fellow men and make sure people have something good to say about you. Turn around the tables on the rottenness which has gone on for years and years. Show your God-gifted potential which you possess. Go ahead and be an example. Introduce it with codes of overall majesty so that the little ones won't be little Billy Boyos and little Harrys, but will be children of genius and prodigious status. So my brothers, turn around the years of dismantling and for once don't be seduced by sexual advantages, but use your intelligence and knowledge to earn your right to be seen as a well-defined individual. Thank you, Peter.
Oh, thank you, Steve. That's very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mohammed, do you want to give us a
Yes.
song or a poem?
Yes, as ever, I'll begin with a song. I've got a bit of a cough. I don't know when it'll interrupt my narrative, but let's hope it doesn't. So today's song from the Beatles is From Me to You, and 4 lines. If there's anything that you want, if there's anything I can do, just call on me and I'll send it along with love from me to you. And as it's the month of May, here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Okay, so musical part over.
I think it should be Here Comes the Hail for the last few days.
Oh yes, it really hit my head. It hit my missus on the head. And I got thoroughly drenched a day before yesterday. I got thoroughly drenched, and that was just at the fag end of my journey back to the house. So I got in and my coat was dripping, absolutely. But I counted. Yesterday was very strange. Not yesterday, the day before. 5 times it was very cloudy. 5 times it was very sunny. Every time it was sunny, I thought, yeah, that's it. Every time it was cloudy, I thought, definitely the cloud was there to stay. Okay, so this one is Fly to You, inspired by what Peter wrote, that someone flew from South Africa to Croydon. So Fly to You goes, I will fly from South Africa to you just to see you once again. Can, 1,000,000 times over. Your smile being infectious, the mother of all nature's thoughtful blessings. I will go over green terrains, through yellow smog, clear or red-eyed, singing of sticks and stones, standing or sitting. Of tribes that high in pride, of lions and tigers brave, my true stripes will show. You lived in my domain once, steadfast as the hills here, summoning me to your mind maps. Never rumpled or cranky, always being my torch-bearer. When I followed any dark shadows to reach dust-free, rain-washed dawns.
Very good.
He goes on a little bit more. I will fly with a tear in the corner of my wide eyes. The wind will favor me as a cradle or charm, and I will hope for your serene gaze, giving me credit for just being me. I will ride the airwaves, the invisible currents, much like a soaring big bird, gliding with free wings outstretched, eagle eye on things that complement serenity, yearnings for heavenly cornucopia. I've never flown that far, but for you I'm game, aiming for my Croydon landing place, by mart made for love homes and mansion, rails and places of worship. The wings of my craft will imitate the angels and deliver me safely to your glad embraces, lasting and of sweet safety.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Mohammed, did you write that in the last couple of days?
I did, as soon as I got the prompt, I wrote it on Tuesday. But I finished it on Thursday, yes, which was
No,
yesterday.
that's quite a lot. That's a large, for me, that's a large piece to do ready for tonight.
Well, I do that sort of thing. I take a prompt and I get busy. I get
Get
busy.
going. Very
Yeah.
good.
Okay, there's one more for the first part, which is about my dad, and he's been in poor health last month. April wasn't great for him. 3 times went to hospital, but he's okay now, much better. So this is in honor of my dad, or from just genuine love from my heart. Daddy's earth every time dazzles. Daddy is the earth. He holds us like the planet that cultivates gardens. At every step, he checks our pace with words to guide. The summer breezes throw pollen into the air for the plants he carefully planted. Daddy talks to lighten the load. 1,000 problems get solved, as if magic is real. The sun gives its own light. No need for it to borrow or pretend to be someone better, something better. Daddy is the light in the dawn breaking behind evergreen groves. In that glow, every fiber of ours becomes a thing alive, carrying our beings with natural and perhaps supernatural ease. Daddy was and is and can be for many a reason. For many a season, planets revolve around the idea of the kingship of a Jupiter. His spheres never distract to troubles of heart or pain of regrets. What fault does Daddy have that overpowers his charms of harmony? The stars guide the sailors of the bays to reach the harbors, where to anchor is the first steps to times of breathing in peace. Daddy, even if you are on crutches now, there is that old quiet strength. A mountain does not crumble with the weight of age. A moon always gifts with expected beams.
Wow.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
Very powerful.
Yes.
Thank you
Have you
very
showed
much.
it to your
Thank you,
father?
Norma. Not yet. He's read a few of my poems, and yeah, he always enjoys reading my poems. Yeah. Yes.
Last week I saw an obituary of Carol Rumans, who was a poet who lived in Croydon in the 1970s and edited with Brian Dan the magazine Poetry in Croydon. I've got a book, Strange Girl in Bright Colours, came out in 1973, in which he has a section about living in New Addington. So I'm going to read some of those. One street beyond. From first light to pub time, always the trackless children skirmishing, sliding through the grit of empty underpasses, making a chase game, throwing coke cans, threats, tumbling down the absurd grass flanks of the main road. All day you hear them, tractors and go-karts squealing in mindless circles. All day some are clambering, stranded on one rusting climbing frame. Others are running away, and others standing, staring at a vacant play space. All through the long summer, they are darkening, hardening, the outdoor children whose fathers come and leave in vans or on foot without a word, whose mothers are always tired and shouting from windows, making little barbed worlds from broken glass and matchsticks at the edges of curbs. The children never listen. They started with clean socks, new toys, rosy faces, but always end here, dirty and alone, one street beyond justice or love.
Mm. Oh,
Um,
very good. I can visualize that.
The Inheritors. The street lights bronze the pale weatherboard house fronts. Beyond their heads 12 bald bulbs climb, one behind the other, up Beach House, beachless as Buchenwald. Plimsolls pound. A human shadow drops and coils for cover behind the concrete stair. The panda car is watching somewhere else. The broken glass winks under the star. Outside the fish shop, knives are flashed. Down in the play park, 5 girls curse and laugh and jounce the metal horse and wait all evening to be snatched alive. These are the locks they'll wake behind, and these hard suns, the salt their struggle not to raise against the weatherboard and echoing stare, down the cul-de-sacs as short as days. And finally...
But this is New Addington in the 70s.
Yes. Elegy. This is a summer of heat but no light. The dim gardens uninhabited at dusk that drifts pale blue and slightly smoke-soiled, holding little hope of one ripe star. Only Beach House slowly electrifies through windows spaced like screens on a light box module. If you turned enough dials, would marvellous rainbows flow? No, they are really yellow room lights. Distant specks move, eat and die in them. Generations of lives, they are stockpiled here or set in rows behind the angular porchways of Foxcombe and Applegarth, the bulldozed woodlands. These are the stone fields where the poor are seeded by random bureaucratic winds. If they fail to root, there are priests and a welfare service. No need to cut throats, scream, jump off balconies. But the summer breeds its own ills. Each night smashed glass chimes the hour, and wishes bleed down walls autographed by the nameless young, spilling their small fire into a granite tundra.
It's very graphic, isn't it?
Yes,
Wow.
it was not a good place in the 70s.
No. Yeah.
Yes. Do we want to break now, or do we want to just carry straight on?
I'd like to read just one poem and then go, actually, because I want to watch the football match.
Yes, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, I'm up for that as well. I wasn't going to read another one, but I can dig one out
Yeah.
to share with everybody and then go.
Right.
Anyway, Jim, yeah.
Jim, come on.
Okay. It's called An Actor on the Couch. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, Sigmund Freud. As a forlorn Hamlet, I shake so much to see my father's ghost. I forget my lines, take out a hanky and blow my nose. And the audience murmur, "Ah, erotic symbolism, I suppose." As an Irish tramp, I call out, "Goddo, so there you are, what's kept you? Why didn't you come sooner?" When I leave the stage, do not return. And the audience cry out, "Actually, this is a huge improvement." As a tormented Oedipus, I say, "I know exactly who you are, Dad, and soon you'll be dead. But first tell me this, is Mother any good in bed?" And the audience whisper, "This chap's not quite right in the head." Finally, as a back end of a pantomime horse, I declaim, "I'm all alone in the dark and lost in his foul clouds of remorse, but surely there's more to my life than this." And the audience start to yell, "Oh no, there isn't. Oh yes, there is." Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. That's excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to do one more before you go, Jim?
Yeah, I'll just do it. It's the Kafka syndrome.
The what?
The Kafka syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Kafka. He turned into a, what is it? What did Kafka turn into? Something or other. I don't know. I think it was a butterfly. Was it a butterfly, or what did Kafka turn into?
Well, Gregor Samsa in the story turned into a beetle, giant beetle.
Oh, right. Okay, beetle. Well, this is Kafka syndrome.
Yeah.
In a former life, I was a salesman whose job was to explain the workings of computers to those who might not be mentally competent. I recall how one day an old boy of 80 plus panicked when I got technical. I don't know anything, he sniffed, trembling as if he had a nervous disease. And some days I'm not even sure whether I'm a man or a butterfly. He wiped his mouth with a cotton handkerchief. I winced inwardly, then nodded as one does. "And if I am a butterfly," he groaned, "I don't even know what kind of a butterfly I might be." I was trained to strike a rapport with such people. "Sir," I said, "I do know something of such matters, and in my opinion you are unlikely to be a butterfly. But if I were wrong, and I sometimes am, I'd say you are a fairly typical cabbage white." I gave a salesman's hollow chuckle. He chose not to make a purchase, and I forgot him. But sometime later we went once more in a shopping precinct. He was dressed rather gaudily for a man of his age, and wearing makeup. "I'm a red admirable," he said haughtily, and flew off into the sun-kissed firmament.
Something like that. Right.
Excellent.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Bless you.
Yes, thank you,
Bye,
Jim.
Jim. Bye, Jim.
Thanks a lot.
Hope
Bye,
you
Jim.
enjoy the football.
Yeah.
I've heard do as well. Probably won't be any good at all, but you know.
He's off.
There we
Peter,
go.
Okay, I'm off
I'm
then.
going to dig out. I wrote one about butterflies, so you carry on. I'll dig it out, and then that'll be my
Right.
swan song for tonight.
Or butterfly song.
Mm.
John, do you want to read next?
Yeah, I can do it. I've got a book of Herman Hesse. So it's not. Why is it not focusing?
I don't know. Your background's unfocused. I don't know. Perhaps
Yeah, the background is, but
no, still not.
it's confusing. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
book of Herman Hesse poems.
Yeah.
So I'll read three Herman Hesse poems. Small request. When your small hand seeks out mine, you say much without a word. Did I ever ask you then to speak your love for me? I do not ask you for your love. You just need to know you are near, and that your hand in silence sometimes gently reaches out for mine. And here's a butterfly poem. Blue butterfly, A tiny blue butterfly flits, coursing down on the wind, shining like mother of pearl. It flutters and flickers and fades, so swift in the blink of an eye as it flew by. I saw my happiness wave at me and glimmer off into the blue. And I'll finish with this one. It's called Dream. It's always the same dream. Reddish blossomed chestnut tree. A garden full in summer bloom. A derelict house with empty rooms, where the silent garden grows. My mother rocked me till I dozed. Since then, ages have moved on. The garden tree and the house are gone. Maybe there's a meadow view where plough and harrow have gone through. Of home and garden, house and tree, nothing is left except my dream. Right, I want to finish on that note as well. So, okay, bye.
Right, John.
Well done, John.
Okay.
Well done, John.
Okay, cheers.
Oh,
Do you want to read your butterfly poem, Norman?
yeah, I lost you there for a second, but you're
Right,
back.
no,
Yeah,
I clicked
I know.
on.
I didn't aim to, but everybody's into butterflies tonight. This is a couple of years old, but quite simply, butterflies. Folklore tells me that I saw an angel fly into my garden, all dressed in white, a bringer of change and transformation, of hope and spiritual delight. But I just know that you never fly in strict formation like the geese across the sky. Instead, you twist and twirl in animation, which proves to me that you are a butterfly. As I watch you choreograph your moves and produce an air display in the sky, I never cease to be amazed as you dive and climb on high. Your time is short to find a mate, so you flutter frantically on your quest. A lady butterfly is found and she's impressed, and so you both perform a ballet in the air. It's nature's courtship, the bonding of a mating pair. With your mission complete, your flight is crowned, and with a final spin, like a fighter ace, you're homeward bound. But your lady friend has eggs to lay. From flower to shrub, she flutters on her way to refuel and avoid any nasty predators. She can tell in nature what would threaten her. Eventually, she settles on her chosen haven. Her eggs are laid in safe formation. And so the cycle of life begins again, from caterpillar to butterfly, a glorious reign. That's my butterflies.
Well done, Norman. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Steve, do you want to...
Sure, Peter. This one's called Rustling. As the leaves on the ground sliver and long, they rustle with sounds of crisply echoing. As autumn proceeds, the leaves are heaped up along pavements, roads and parks. They hung on trees in their green glory, the changing colour of regeneration, amber looking. The rustling leaves take on their new encounter, as sweeping them up, the councilmen gather them in piles on the sidewalk. When it rains, the leaves become very soggy, which can be dangerous. The whole deers passing by have to be very careful in their steps. The season of nature, with leaves no longer in their position, remind us that once spring arrives again, they will be popping up to show us that they are still part of nature's wonder. And And this one's called Shining. Let your light so shines that others may see your good works and come to acknowledge our Saviour. Shining and becoming lit up like a star are traits of fabulous and famous people. When you shine, you become very distinctive, and an illuminating presence overwhelms others. Growing up in the Midlands, fingers were pointing at me. They would say, look at Steve, who has no parents, but yet looks after himself, dresses decently. Every Sunday he's going to church with his Bible in his hand, without no parents to tell him to do so. Living in a 5-bedroom house with 2 tenants and no supervision, I could have been one of the worst juvenile delinquents in all kinds of trouble. It is really tremendous and unbelievable that such endeavour and credibility wasn't perpetrated. I just wanted to do good in the world so that others would follow. Thank you, Peter.
No, thank you, Steve.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
nice, Steve.
Thank you,
Bless
Steve.
you, bless you, bless you.
I'm going to read a couple of poems by Brian Dan, having mentioned him earlier on. This is one of my favourite poems, actually. Sticks. I bring you sticks. I bring you sticks. I bring you more sticks. Long, short, bitten by other dogs. Sticks wrenched off trees, still green. Fat sticks devoid of bark, showing the twist of the grain of the wood. Sawn-ended bits of palings. I bring you long twigs, hollow stems of dead yarrow, long bendy branches with which I will persist, which bar me from passing through the small gates in parks. I bring you sticks. I bring you sticks. I bring you more sticks. I bring you sticks, almost boughs of trees, so thick I can hardly get my teeth into. I would bring you that long stick beyond the railings, but I cannot reach through the gaps, and will not risk displeasure by leaping over to fetch. I bring sticks near and wait a way off to see what you will do. I thrust the sticks at your feet, push them at your hands, but none please you. None will you return to me through the long air of a decent throw for a dog, for whom sticks are the essence of art. If only I could puzzle out the sort of sticks which would evoke that eternal, godly throwing response which makes life whole. I bring you sticks. I bring you more sticks. It's a lovely poem.
If dogs could speak.
Yes. And another dog poem, Walking the Dog, for Sasha. We've trod and slipped the usual perilous path, greased as it is by rain and steep, and done the business of relief. She timid and discreet to strain beneath low bushes out of sight, emerged upon the open rough-grown grass to play and run and fiercely hassle enemies of wood which do not threaten or react. After we've shared the joys out on the space of grass and sky of stick throw and quick catch, we walk home through our different woods, the dog and I. She near the ground navigates the grey landscape of her sight, sensing a world full of savours that I miss. She stops at clumps of grass, nose twitching earnestly, and squats to leave her calling card, inspects a turd or rotten branch, or dips her tail at some portentous smell. I walk with eyes sometimes cast down, watching for roots across my path. More often look from side to side, noting a bramble here, well stocked with darkening fruit, and there a leaf unusual in shape, under the translucent canopy of foliage which colours and reduces light. Passing through this multicoloured wilderness, approximating chaos to my sight, I catch perhaps the grosser odours which distill from flower and bark, and hidden fruit in depths of shrub and vine. But my odour world is flat and dull compared with hers. We come to an empty clearing where she roots and will not shift at tug of lead, when suddenly a startled fox, quite young and beautiful, runs out, pauses, astonished, turns and disappears. All three of us are silently amazed, but both four-legged ones know there was something up, and two legs had no inkling, so stood there, witness and spectator to this happening. Witless could only stand and stare.
Who's that? What's his name? Brian?
Dan. D-A-N-N.
Good, excellent.